Okay, welcome to week 10. This is where things really get going now. This is where you're actually going to get organized in terms of the actual writing. Basically, you've been working on getting organized as far as the research, as far as organizing what you think your focus is. I will be looking at your iSearch papers this week. I'll probably get them done by Friday. Those papers are really for you. That was your thinking out loud, your brainstorming inside your own head, brainstorming on paper, talking to yourself. I'm going to look over them, but basically that's just a checkpoint for me to make sure that you're actually thinking in detail about your research and that you're actually up to date. This is not a time in the class to be behind. Okay, so I'll get those looked over by Friday. Don't expect a lot of comments. I'm not doing that. Okay, the outline is due Sunday night. It's critical that a research paper have an outline and that you actually follow that outline when you write the paper. Not that you can't maneuver the outline again, okay? You can, but you need to be organized when you write this paper. And I provided you with some very, very good readings. I'd like for you to look at them carefully, both on the in the textbook and also some good links. The textbook has a chapter about proposal arguments. It's very good. There's a website about how to develop an outline for a research paper. There's a website about how to develop an outline for an argumentative paper, which this one theoretically is, okay? And then more than that, there's also a very good web page, reading number 5, about organizing around the Tolman model of logic, and I really like that one a lot, okay? Now, that said, organization is basically something that the reader understands by reading your paper. It's not like you have to have a certain way to organize the paper, okay? It's just necessary that it is organized. And by that I mean that it doesn't double back on itself, that it doesn't wander away from the thesis statement, that it doesn't repeat itself, and that it unflows in a logical fashion. Now, very often you can accomplish this by writing a really, really good thesis statement that road maps the paper. And by road map, I mean it actually outlines the paper. Basically, it says, first topic is going to be this, second topic is going to be this, and then finally we're going to end up with this, okay, A, B, and C. And then your paper follows A, B, and C. So you can get your thesis statement unfold as kind of a short list, item 1, item 2, item 3, item 4. Then the paper unfolds the same way, item 1, item 2, item 3, item 4, and then it summarizes, concludes, shows which proved. Okay, so that's organization. Then you also accomplish that by good transitions, on one hand, on the other hand, in the first place, in the second place, in the third place, and finally, those kinds of things. Transitions help move the reader through your paper in an organized fashion. Now this outline is very important because it's not only is it the way that your paper is going to stay focused, all right, and kind of unfold itself, but it's also the model for your PowerPoint, which is due the following week. You're presenting a PowerPoint to the entire class about your project. All right, and PowerPoint is an outline tool. It is an organizational tool. So the outline and the PowerPoint go very carefully together. By that time, you will have done so much thinking about your paper, about its form, its actual shape, that you'll be able to write it really easily the following week. Okay, so there's a complete method to my madness. All right. Wanted to say one other thing about the outline, and I can't quite remember what it is. It doesn't have to be a junior high school outline. It has to be Roman numeral 1, capital A, small 1, small a, blah, blah, blah. Frankly, a good list. Okay, quiz question. You got 10 pages. Okay, that's your paper length. All right, you got an introduction and a conclusion. Okay, 1 paragraph each. So how many paragraphs, how many points do you need to cover in this paper? Okay, how many paragraphs? And if a paragraph equals 1 point, really how many items do you need in your outline to really practically have the paper done? Okay. 10 pages. How many paragraphs per page? How many? 3? 30? 10 times 3 is 30. So really you only need about 28 points to cover. And some of these points can be subpoints. Sometimes you have multiple paragraphs about the same point. All right? So basically, if you construct a really good list that you can follow, and then kind of follow that list for your PowerPoint, and then write your paper from that list, you'll be in good shape. So that's all it really takes for an outline. So I'm not expecting a junior high school outline. I am expecting a thesis statement at the beginning of it. I would like to look at your thesis statement one more time, all right, and that'll help me understand what your outline's about, and then I want to see the outline. Okay, make it neat, but don't worry that it will follow a certain format. Okay, it could be just a list of topic sentence, a list of the main points you want to make. Okay, I expect to see some detail though. Don't turn in half a page here. I like to see I'd like to see about 2.5, 3 pages worth of list here. All right. So do a good job, please. Please pay attention to the readings. I've got one learning diary prompt. This is your final learning diary. And there are 2 discussions. That's also your final discussions. Let me just double check that very quickly. All right. Oh, by the way, in some views of the learning modules, they end at week 10. That's not true. There's actually a button on the bottom right-hand corner that gives you page view, and it tells you how many items you have on a page. So you have to scroll down. So if you only see 10 learning modules up through week 10, that's not correct. You need to go down to the bottom right-hand corner of the page and click on, there's some buttons down there. I think they're self-explanatory, and that'll give you, there's a drop-down menu. That's what it is. It gives you the rest of the items, all right? So don't be confused by that. I'm having that trouble right this second. Okay, so let's look at week 11 very quickly. That's the week your PowerPoint's due, right? There is no learning module. Excuse me, there is no learning diary week 11. There are no discussions in week 11. Excuse me. And in week 12, you will be sharing your PowerPoint with each other. You'll submit it to me, and then you'll submit it as a discussion. All right. Okay, so that's it. There are no more after this week. There are no more learning diaries, no more discussions. There are 2 discussion prompts this week. One's about energy, and the other one, real quick, I knew what it was, is about. I'm still trying to do that critical thinking thing. Okay, what do you know? What do you think you know, and what should you know about topics, right? And can you support your opinions? Remember what I said earlier? Opinions are dime a dozen. Who cares? All right, I say that all. Oh yeah, music and culture. Is music bad for you? All right. There's a lot of discussion. It's not quite so bad right now, but a couple of years ago, it's really bad. Like, oh, these terrible rock lyrics and everything corrupting our youth. So I'm just looking for 1 more week worth of brainstorming among each other, 1 more week of critical thinking, 1 more week of being challenged, and then the rest of the semester, you just pay attention to your paper, work, write, polish, revise. Okay, enjoy the week. As usual, I'm reading email constantly. I will get back with you on your iSearch papers by the end of the week, but don't worry about that for your outline. Get started on your outline right now.